Yeah. ¿Dónde me quedé? Pensé que había revisado esto de acá. Tendré que pasar por ahí, pero... ¿Cómo?
Be still, my beating heart. It's amphetamine, sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you.
Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, but that there was an interesting find. An alternative path into the harbor that the kid uses. Well done.
Hagamos otras cosas porque no había forma de salir, creo. No es el 20 centavos, magnesio. Pinche niño. ¿Dónde estaba? Acá. La hora del karaoke hace como una cinta ya. Ponte en contacto con Silve. Ya. Desaparición de tu placa. Deberías denunciar la desaparición de tu placa. Contactos a la comisaría de corredor. La radio de su carruaje motorizado. Y de paso ahí podemos encontrar otras cosas también. Buscamos el carruaje. Ya, una botella. Si tuviera una bolsa.
This Post Levantorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front. A faint sticker on the side reads, RCM Emergencies Desk number 8102, with a slogan, Mankind, be vigilant. The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also. The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. You shudder, then you swallow. And then suddenly, you see it. Over all the other graffitos, someone has, using the tip of a very sharp knife, cut the words, River Shore forever.
A ver, una patada. Dime que no me he herido.
There is a hollow ring as you kick the box. It sounds like it's mostly empty. Your toe hurts now. Your toe has suffered damage. It hurts.
Ow.
Cool. You really showed that mail collection box. I don't. Let's go.
¿En serio? ¿Tengo algo para el dolor? Uh-oh.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Ah.
Before you stands a motor carriage. The bodywork is covered in blue and white livery.
Decorada con motivos blancos. Uno de ellos compone el número 57.
Vapor emanates from the large engine on the back of the vehicle. It hasn't had time to cool off yet. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. A scent of leatherwork and heavy fuel oils washes over you.
This is the Caprice Kinema, my motor carriage. You can use the toolbox and the radio if you'd like. The Caprice motorcar does provide most of our patrol vehicles, yes.
But this is different. This is a sports model.
You're right. I didn't take you for a motorcar enthusiast. Do you also like Tip Top, Detective? An interstellary racing series. You should definitely give it a go if you like motor carriages. It has fantastic competition. No, I'm afraid not. We have a murder case on our hands, remember? A motorized vehicle, officer. I'm sure you are familiar with the concept. We've had these for nearly a century.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. The frequency tableau lights up, and a green button labeled Prime Line glows like a feline eye. The soft purr of electrical kittens, radio waves cast far and wide over the metropolis. A woman's voice greets you through the static.
This is Precinct 57. Hello, Lieutenant. How may I assist you?
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
Operating the radio is easy. Just be confident. You've probably done it 1,000 times.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you?
Under the green prime line, a yellow saved button catches your eye. You wonder what the lieutenant's default radio station is.
Of course. What is her number, officer?
Yes, hold on. Her number is 005 1944 298.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his right foot.
officer. I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello?
Sylvie, creo que ya nos conocemos. Soy el detective Woolen.
Oh, right. Hello, officer. What can I do for you?
There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about it.
You mean, why did I leave the bar? Honestly, I'm not really comfortable discussing it with you, sir. Let's just say I left because I needed to get away from someone. You know whom?
¿El tipo?
Maybe, I don't know. I just know I have to take some time off right now. No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about the court. No one calls the police. The union would get angry. You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto policed by the Dock Workers Union.
Hmm.
I didn't want to get in trouble with the others.
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways.
The other people who live around here. Local people, I didn't want trouble. You don't live here. You don't understand. Squealing is frowned upon here. Everything is dealt with, well, by the union, internally. Please, I just didn't want any trouble. I didn't know I had to report it. I thought someone would take him down eventually.
The fucking nerves on her. Trying to hide behind weakness. You're a god. An angry but just god. You can almost hear the girl getting smaller on the other end of the line until she almost drowns in static.
No. I honestly don't know.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Okay. No, absolutely not.
Moral. Ow.
That came so fast, you can't but wonder what else she would be good at. Baseball, ring-a-bell quiz shows, catching keys in the air, petting an angry cat.
I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
Si menos uno le hiciste llorar. Le invitas.
You hear the call breaking up on the other end of the radio, and then the already familiar voice.
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st, come in, over. 10-4, what's your status? Over. 10-18, 10-20, over. State your message, sir. Over. 10-9, repeat message. Over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation. I need to 10-22 the captain. Over.
1022, the captain. This sounds bad. Bad and scary. Like being called to the headmaster's office in school.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge? Who lost his badge? Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think? It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective who would not lose his badge. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge. Over.
Fuck me. Mac, come here. You've got to hear this. Dick Mullen lost his badge.
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost his badge.
He lost his what now?
His badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
Ten-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for Captain Sober.
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his gun too. Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost your gun too. Over.
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you?
Good.
No. It's gone. It's not fucking on you.
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
17.
10-1, you're breaking up. 10-9, repeat please. Over.
8.
10-9, come in, officer. Over.
3.
Come in, officer. 10-9, repeat message please. Did you misplace
Afirmativo,
your
cambio.
firearm? Over.
¿Me va a afectar? ¿De qué manera me puede afectar eso? ¿Me puede bajar la moral más que se ríen de mí y podría llegar a suicidarme? Déjame guardar. No puedo guardar. Si me baja la moral, puedo llegar a suicidarme, creo. Déjame usar.
The silence is almost deafening after you flick off the switch, severing the connection.
That did not go well. I guess the important thing is that you followed protocol and reported your lost items. Did we need anything else here?
As you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the large orange sector, indicating the engine is warm.
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition key.
Alternative translation. Don't even think you can drive the MC. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch, and the metal clutch handle so very familiar in your palm. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tools inside are neatly organized.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case. I'm not protective of my tools, like some men are.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? Work is work. The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand. Cold and heavy, like truth. You feel like you're reunited with truth once more. Useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids.
Cortapernos con mango de goma.
The handles are long and sleek. Snap, snap, go the cutters in your hand. You can do good work with these. Cut chains, locks, and ropes, especially belts. It's robust, weatherproof, and well-made. Police issue, blue. Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise miss. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge casts a warm glow on the steering levers and the radio on its hook.
Ahora que me han bajado la moral y esto, podría guardar la partida. He creado... Ah, no. Autosave. Sí.
Inside, you see a set of
Porque
steering
voy a volver a
levers,
coger
a
la radio y a
radio
ver qué más
microphone,
puedo hacer con ella.
pull-out toolbox, and the soft.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? It will take just a moment, officer.
Her voices fade out into the familiar radio static.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
Oh, it's you. With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol, I'm not surprised. What else? I'm not a brain doctor. Look on the bright side. You've got a whole new life now. Use it wisely. What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want another rundown of everything collapsing inside your body? You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D. Our station is not a retirement home. We don't have the funds to deal with rock stars past their prime.
So it's political. You're being neglected because of political reasons. The money is probably going to some old, oily...
And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got work to do. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut with cyanoacrylate. It looks like Mactorson.
It's not fucking cryoacrylate. It's super glue, Doc.
And you survived it. Congratulations. Are you mobile?
Sort of. But by God, does it burn in your chest.
Even better. Anything else? I wouldn't worry about that. Officers your age have coronary trouble all the time. Also, death is a natural part of life. Yes, there's no end to the misfortunes fate has seen fit to rain upon me. Who? You are? You lost your human visage a while back. Now let's get on with it. I've got more important things to do.
Anything else I can help you with, officer?
always, it's DJ Mesh and Felicio, and you're listening to Street Freaks FM, bringing you the hottest, the nastiest, the most vulgar.
A flock of seagulls takes off nearby, startled by the roaring radio. Right away, the lieutenant reaches into the cabin and turns off the radio. He's not looking at you as he says,
Someone must have been messing with the radio, or maybe it picked up a random frequency. You wanted a prime line, right? Oh, is that what it was called?
go for it. Turn the radio back on while it's still on the Speed Freaks FM.
Nothing to get into, really. But sure, let's focus on the important things.
This is Precinct 57. Can I connect you to someone? 57's over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers. A radio.
Ya. Ah, tengo dos cargas. Uno para acá. Y otro para acá. Guardar. Verdad que teníamos acá unas misiones completadas. ¿Dónde podía ver mis niveles? Coordinación, ojo, mano, motricidad tengo 4, constitución 5. Puntos de habilidad, experiencia 30 de 100, total 5. Deshacer, lo puedo deshacer. Elijo algo y lo subo de nivel. Intelecto, lógica. Dice ejército, inteligencia en bruto, deduce el mundo. Solo se puede subir un punto y requiere uno. Lógica de subir. ¿Puedo subir otros? Ah, solo puedo subir uno. Lógica, enciclopedia. Detente, mira entre esos camiones. Encuentra tu placa. Está por ver cómo vas a encontrar tu placa una pasión. Tal vez te cruces con ella por casualidad durante el desarrollo de los acontecimientos. Quién sabe, los milagros existen. ¿Quién denunció esto? Continúa buscando a la persona que denunció el crimen, incluso si no dispones de pistas sólidas. Concurso de meadas. Al parecer hubo un concurso de meadas entre la comisaría 41, la tuya y el 57. Pregunta a Kim al respecto una vez finalice la inspección preliminar del cuerpo. Hay un contenedor de basura cerrado detrás de... Ya vamos a abrir eso y regresamos acá. Tú eres Kim, ¿verdad?
Yes.
Mundo interior legendaria. Baja. Convencer a Kim de que hay un giro oscuro y sexy en el caso. Ya. Pero eso es después del... Inspeccionemos un poco de acá. ¿Se puede mover con las flechas? Oh, sí.
I am a gander and a hunter and a gatherer. Feel like a traveler. It's the jam, my man.
The air from the east is thick with the smell of crude oils, heavy metals and other byproducts of the modern era. You can almost taste it.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight, no explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating. all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days
Censuras en
upon
la carretera y
days
más días.
upon days.
Así que ahí es donde están.
Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes of mazout. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already. So tell me, what do you need? Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around, waiting for the jam to disperse. Or waiting.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add. You'll have to ask around elsewhere.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Rebishaw's weird. It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands, no way in or out.
Going on strike would probably help you dodge a bullet or two.
Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. Good on them, I guess. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like, a strike negotiator type. They'd know what's up. Precise demands and so on.
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching. Maybe you should. Cops don't get paid much and the hours are long. Plus, you can get shot. Why not?
The RCM is a self-managing organization that operates on donations. We promote our own leaders. It would be like striking against your own mother. Okay, but do continue. You were asking about the strike?
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get paid. I have things to do and places to be. All of us do. Us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not that I blame them, really. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one.
Okay.
He tries his best to look nonchalant, but there's a rigidity in him, as if trying to conceal something warm and deep beneath a cool exterior.
8, empatía.
Oh, high-grade narcotics, illegal firearms, stuff like that. Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuits and that kind of thing. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. This rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery? Neat. For carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance. These found tracksuits need to find their way to the kids way out in Wamrau and Laurent Bird somehow. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be happy.
There's no denying it. Your body needs to feel the
Buena
touch of some
ropa.
good performance wear. The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here. Keep him busy. Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs. A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees.
Eso es todo por ahora, bueno, Charlie.
Don't be a stranger.
Ya. Me lo llevo.
An old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece, secured and mounted in the air with the aid of numerous ropes and rods. A silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane." As you look up, you notice something about the statue. There are some odd indentations on the king's chest piece. Something with great kinetic energy seems to have impacted the cuirass, around where the heart is. A bullet?
Okay, I can't see it, but I take your word for it. Well, Martinez is riddled with bullet holes. This place saw a lot of action during the revolution, but the statue is recently renovated, so maybe a joke? Target practice or a political statement? Why not? What this shows us is guns aren't too uncommon here, and people still shoot them, sometimes at kings.
The king stands high above you, surveying the bay, mute and indifferent to your sightings.
Tengo ropa.
The small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something on her radio. A photograph is clutched in her hands, and there is a warm smile on her face. No response wherever this woman is. Your words fail to reach her.
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told you why.
Ok. Más plata. Bolsa, palanca, ya. Creo que después venimos acá. Creo que ya estamos regresando, ¿no? Sí, eso estamos regresando. Voy a subir entonces. Magnesio. Pero eso no se guarda acá, eso... Solo se aumenta mi carga y si está en 2 no me la lleva al inventario, simplemente malgasta una. Ya estuve acá ayer en la noche. Ahí está el tipo, nosotros hemos venido por acá. Ahí está la puerta.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? Of course. What can I help you with? Excuse me? Oh, well, I didn't write it there. I'm just sitting here.
¿Qué pasa con la otra? Cerdos fuera.
I don't know anything about that either. As I said, I didn't write it.
No need to worry. We are not saying you did.
Okay. Well, I didn't. Me? I am just a gardener.
She hides it well, but behind the sweat and dirt there is something else in her rigid posture.
I am working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. I've been trying to get some work done. Well, as you probably know, there's a corpse hanging from a tree there. It smells pretty bad, so I have to take breaks.
Don't worry, miss. We are here to clean it up. You can get to work soon.
Thank you. My head is about to explode from all the salts I've had to inhale.
Salts? Ammonium salts. Perhaps useful for later.
Is the street signs messed up? Okay. What do you need? What do you mean? Yes, sir. District of Martinez. This intersection is called Roundabout North.
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
¿Qué hacia el norte?
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, some more tenements. Not a lot, really. The harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. I don't follow the local politics. A fleet store, too. Some shops and a bridge. The canal bridge leads to the coast, but it's broken, I think. Some kind of accident, probably. Just coast. There's a little fishing village there, and a fish market. But that got closed down ages ago.
Rows of stalls under a broad roof, where silvery fish were heaped on newspapers. Water, water everywhere, pouring from the heavens in the shadow of the old church.
¿Qué clase de lonja es? Sacuderte de la sensación por esto.
I don't know. The abandoned kind? It used to gather every spring, but there's nothing to do there now. Just drug addicts. It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. There are some islands in the bay, but they're hard to reach. No problem.
She's very well composed, back straight.
Of course. I won't hold you back.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the autopsy.
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Really? None. Maybe just a tiny bit of annoyance.
¿Que no me lo puedo equipar? No aguanto. Uy. Oh.
Welcome to Rivachol.
Camionero racista. ¿Por qué te diriges a mí como compañero de esa manera?
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me as much as it belongs to you. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said welcome to Rivachol. It's a lorry driver thing.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here, that I should... But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air between them becomes tense. Your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
Ahí llevas Kim, te curo las espaldas, ¿no? Ahora que ya nos hemos aclarado todos, queremos hacerte un par de preguntas.
I haven't learned anything I didn't know before.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes his regular calmness.
Whatever you say, officers.
He smells of heavy motor oils, and his breath of high tar content cigarettes, probably Astra Whites.
No.
He's got a smoke right there in his fucking hand. Snatch that shit out of his fat fingers. You need it after listening to his garbage.
It's my last one.
Oh.
Why would I do that? I'm an honest man. I bet. Sorry I couldn't be of any help. Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a sit and wait on your ass situation. The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month, 2 months maybe. But this here is just the last week or so. Apples. Yeah, apples. I take it you had other questions?
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
It's about biological determinism, natural law, the sorting of the races. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge and all. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep.
Change the topic. The way he says it makes it almost sound like a threat.
People who've studied these things say that you and me are superior by design.
Por diseño.
So, naturally, we Occidentals should be in charge. Obviously, you can see the merits in that. So, lately we Occidentals have experienced an unfortunate downturn when members of the superior race cease to believe in their innate superiority. They stop competing for resources.
¿Qué problema?
This concerns you, policeman, so you better be vigilant. The damn kips are showing up good lately. Same with the mosquitoes. And the other intruder species too. They're on the precipice of cultural victory. It's what the kips of Boogie Street are going for, right under our noses. And the others too, on the radio. Heard any chansons lately? Heard any motetos or leader? No. Dominating culture is how they plan to win. They say so themselves. It's true. Also, you need to realize the dangers of mixing races. Who knows what might happen if people don't stay in their birthplace? You might end up with a new sub-race, with unknown characteristics, leading to extra competition. That's why you've got to control the offspring. Good. If we, the evening people, pull together, we can form a bulwark against these troubled times. Root out the forces that seek to undermine the well-being of our people.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi's stern expression remains unchanged, but you sense He can't be happy about this turn of events.
Tenía que sacarle algo, ¿no? Entonces, intentar hacerme su amigo y esas cosas. Interesante. ¿Quiere hablar? Plata. Vamos a la tienda. ¿De qué quieres hablar?
When you said before that you were down with racism, was it meant in earnest? Or were you just trying to win?
Yo intentaba transmitir que entendía sus reivindicaciones y que no los juzgaba por tenerlas.
I suppose that's a relief. Just be careful how often you avail yourself of this technique. A lie may be useful in the short term, but I have a way of catching up with you later. And one more thing. As you've seen, these sorts of attitudes are quite common in Martinez, so I expect this to happen again and again. I've had this conversation enough times in my life. From now on, I'm going to stay out of it. How you choose to respond is your business, but be careful. Now let's move on.
The tear machine stands in the corner. A sign says, 1 bottle equals 10 cents.
Oh, that's the tear machine. It's a machine for tear. You know, you find tear outside, like bottles or whatever, and put it in the machine, then it gives you money. You need a bag, I guess. We used to have some, but we gave them all out, so... Feel free to use it if you find a bag, though. I'm sure there are some out there. Somewhere.
A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles, nasal sprays, and blister packs. They
Just ask me if you need anything from St. Baptiste. We don't stock prescription meds, but we do have Nosafed, Duramine, Magnesium, and Hypnogamma. I don't know. Let's see. Nosafed is a nasal
Para la
spray.
nariz,
Duramine is a really good
analgésico.
painkiller. Magnesium is a dietary supplement. Hypnogamma is... I don't really know what Hypnogamma is. I guess it makes you feel less shit. It's recommended to use after lots of partying, studying, or exercising.
Okay.
No, sorry. I'm not like a doctor or anything.
Nosafed heals +1 health. Duramine heals +3 health. Magnesium heals +1 morale. Hypnogamma heals +3 morale.
Nosotros restauro 1 de salud. ¿Ya? Drouamina 3 de salud. Magnesio restaura 1 de moral. Y Hypnogamma ya es de 1 a 3 puntos.
You see several packaged raincoats fill a low shelf beneath a display of croissants and juice bottles. The raincoats are transparent, except for the big Fritta slogan on the back. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easier to take unnoticed. No need to worry about knocking over a display.
Oh.
Here you go.
This will keep you nice and warm out there. good choice, if a bit goofy looking.
What is what? A raincoat? You know, like the one you bought earlier.
A colourful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles line the shop wall, inviting you closer. The bottles wink at you in the light. The smokes too glitter in their wrapping. It's like looking into a kind of heaven. Your knees are weak. There, in that dark green glass, all in vain. The great flowing river of warmth, wine, alcohol, beer, alcohol, love, alcohol.
I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. But I guess you already know that.
Know this, you will never finish your alcohol quest if you don't buy beautiful alcohol.
Quiero una botella de vodka. Me gustaría saber más acerca de estos productos.
The pale aged vodka is special, I guess. It's stored in pale for a couple of years, which makes it super expensive and super strong. You know.
Don't worry your pretty little head about it. Let's concentrate on what's important here.
I mean, I already said it'd hurt you. I don't know what else they do.
Substances give powerful bonuses to your main stats at the cost of damage to your health or morale.
Choo.
Cigarettes raise your intellect while damaging your health. Alcohol raises physique while damaging your morale.
Alcohol, pero aumenta mi constitución.
Use medication, like Nosafed and magnesium, to counteract the negative effects of substances. Note: consuming substances can have unforeseen consequences for you.
No, Frit only sells legal drugs, like the law says. Here you go, mister. Here you go, mister.
Vámonos.
Scab?
What did he just call you? Oh no, not this again. You just got away from that fucking kid.
¿Qué significa eso? Mierdón.
A kind of a worm, content with mere survival. They come, they want to do our job for shittier pay, screwing over both themselves and us. Everybody loses. Beats me. Somewhere in the ground, I think. Gotta be bloody stupid, or freaking evil to Scab. Or I guess, scared maybe. But scared of what? Of who? Personally, I'd rather beg than scab. If the gentleman shouting on the street came begging, maybe they'd have gotten something. We've explained the matters, but they don't listen. This lot would be reasonable and go home if the big guy wasn't riling them up all the time. No, I said scab.
Ah, scat es caca, creo, ¿verdad? En mi inglés.
I was just messing with you. No one's ever seen a cop scab. Imagine, you cops going on a strike, but then another cop comes in and says, let us cop for less money. Speaking of, what brings the RCM here? To the Wild North? Come to see the strife?
He venido a Martínez para investigar un asesinato.
Murder, huh? That sounds like a lot of hard work. You'd never see me investigating a murder.
Complicadísimo, es casi imposible. Estoy seguro al 91% que no. No tengo ni idea de lo que.
Of course, policía.
Claro, policía.
It wasn't me. You can rule me out. Easier that way.
Necesito saber qué hay detrás de las puertas.
My friend, I respect the right to roam. The open range awaits.
¿Eso quiere decir que me vas a dejar pasar?
I don't operate in that capacity. I'm not a granter of passage. The passage grants itself.
¿Así de fácil?
I walk right past Measurehead and go in. Yeah, the 2.5-meter tall Semini supremacist there. Walk right past him. Then press the button to unlock the door. Then go past him again. And you enter the arbor through the office. Está. Don't worry, I'm sure it's not completely impossible. For example, you could best measure head in a physical confrontation.
Wow.
Or you could convert to a Semini supremacist worldview. Or maybe it actually is completely impossible.
Algunos scrolls intentado convertirse.
Jean-Luc himself would say the philosophy has proven overly heroic for the scabs to convert to. Not enough intuition. Not yet, no. He's incredibly strong.
Nothing a couple of solid hooks from Dexter and Sinister won't fix.
Sure. You know, serious business. I'm sure the big boss will be glad to tell you. You'll have to ask him first.
Feels like he's hinting at something, but you're too hungover or dumb to understand right now. The man looks at the colorful piece of plastic, then at you, then back at the card, then at you again.
But that's not you, officer. From back when you were not a cop, but a heavy-set, dark-skinned dog worker in Santiago, John. Highly unlikely. I've known John for several years now. Also, you told me you're a cop, remember? How did you get his shift card? Oh, John's been out drinking himself blind again? He should watch his step, that John. Can I have the card?
No, it will prove useful still. Believe your thieving fingers.
Me temo que no, la tarjeta es una prueba de una investigación en curso. No, tengo que mantener mi tapadera con ese complejo, de lo contrario sería...
Oh, is my friend in some sort of trouble? Who knew?
Vayamos allá antes de subir por acá. No.
very stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine is well kept for such an old machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorryman's cabin with personal belongings, stickers, insignia. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and purity are glued to various panels. A large metal pendant hangs from the rear view mirror. The pendant features a sun crowned with wavy rays. The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep, large ashtrays. There are several suns and wheels sewn into the curtains.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
There he is, in front of Rita, smoking nervously, hoping it's over. He was acting tough before. This probably scared him a bit. Who knows when it will come in handy? A slightly scared, racist lorryman.
Ya, después hablo con él.
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cops are here.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down.
We're here to fight for a cause. Stripes usually have problems with people who have causes. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Right to work!
Corría a las puertas.
Right to
Derecho al trabajo.
Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence.
Brrr. ¿De qué clase de cosas estamos hablando? Que yo sepa, aún no me he decidido por ningún bando.
Rights of people, rights of workers, to have gainful employment, to make a salary, and
Que yo sepa, aún no me he
feed their
decidido.
families.
Como sea.
Maybe you should ask them the questions, like why we're not allowed to make a living here. Shame on you! We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
When a bunch of ungrateful, lazy cockroaches can't get their act together, decide to block honest work for other people. Beats me. They mumble nonsense about boardrooms,
Juntas directivas y derechos de los trabajadores, mientras que nosotros levantamos un puño.
the right to work!
When the man moves around, you perceive some serious abs underneath his tight-fitting shirt. This man is in shape. There's something odd in the way he carries himself. His set of clothing looks vaguely mismatched. The different pieces of the attire seem ill-fitting. His shirt is far too small and an unpleasantly tight fit, while the overalls, held up by a belt, seem to fit a man with much more corpulence. He ignores your question, choosing instead to turn to the emaciated workers, raising both fists in the air. The clothes are obviously not his.
Todos estos esquiroles, ¿quiénes son?
Honest men and women with rights to work, to be useful, not toys for corporate interests. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who do want work.
Ajá. Pero no debería funcionar así. Mira, si tienes alguna queja respecto a algo, quejarte, ¿no? Pero dejando a las demás personas trabajar, ¿no? Hacer lo suyo. Si ellos quieren trabajar, pues que sigan trabajando. No tienes por qué interrumpir su derecho a libre trabajo.
I have a question. Why do all these men follow your leadership?
¿Por qué siguen su líderes?
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market, the rules of the economy, because they were given a job to do!
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
We were promised work. We'd be in there, working, if the bastards hadn't shut the gates. Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. Door's locked. The guards blocking the way to the access panel. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The access panel is right behind him. Bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategically advantageous position. And he's trained. I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke, and my men are tired and hungry. They're workers,
no
not
combatientes.
fighters.
¿Habéis probado a irrumpir todos?
Like civilized folk, you mean? These native fucks don't understand civilized.
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home, at least for now. If you can't get in anyway.
Claro, ¿no?
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Leave the button unguarded. Then we charge. Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. Trying to meet their fat boss. I know nothing about a murder. Wouldn't put it past these harbor bugs. They'd do anything to stay alive. Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gainful employment for workers is a crime.
Bueno. A ver. ¿Qué hago? Claro, ¿por qué no?
Why not? I see numerous reasons not to pick a side in this local matter.
Ah, okay.
Let us work! What's it to you?
Dice que más da, profundas sospechas emanan de cada sílaba. A ver si puedo resolver este follón de la huelga. Cuestión de rutina, es parte de la investigación.
Am I a suspect? Done no crimes. I only fight for the rights of people.
Me gusta esa palabra, pueblo. Se utiliza como excusa para levantar a los que menos saben.
We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the
Soy el
eminent
dominio
domain.
eminente de Jamrock. He hecho curros en sitios muy diversos, trabajos pesados, transporte de mercancías, de portero en algunos antros.
I know the drill.
Final, yo conozco unos cuantos sitios. Me han echado de algunos, tal vez por eso me resulta familiar.
Worked at Territorial.
En el territorial, ¿eso no?
Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
Hablar como el fortachón. Sobre pulsar el botón tras la una puerta sellada herméticamente bloqueada por medios electrónicos. Esto no podrá forzarla o echarle debajo a patadas.
Nobody betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology? It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger because you are not a threat to me. You have succumbed to Al-Ghul.
Al-Ghul.
You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick. Yes, Al-Ghul. Al-Ghul is an ancient Ilmaran poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you for humiliating them and stripping them of their land.
Ah, el alcohol.
Correct. My small
De cráneo diminuto. Olerte el aliento.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into
Huele como si una rata se hubiera arrastrado hasta tu estómago y se hubiera emborrachado y ahogado. Mueves la boca, pero el ghoul es quien habla. Solo eres un receptáculo para el ghoul. Casi no queda rastro de ti mismo. El haplogrupo occidental B4 ya no está al mando. La influencia de la raza blandenga está en decadencia. Las cosas claras, no soy un borro. Soy policía y tienes que obedecerme ahora. Todo eso está muy bien, pero estos rollos raciales no son importantes. Te pido que me ayudes a hacer mi trabajo, por favor. Las cosas son claras, no soy un borracho, soy policía, solo veo...
The ethanol fungus is deep within your nervous system, pulling the strings. You are merely its pupa now. I see no hope for you or your kind.
El hongo del etanol se encuentra arraigado en lo más profundo de tu sistema nervioso, moviendo los hilos. Ahora no eres más que su títere. No albergo esperanza para ti ni para los tuyos. Suplicando ayuda, disfrazando el miedo de cooperación, pero qué bajo ha caído el haplogrupo occidental. Se detiene en una reflexión melancólica. Una vez fuisteis una raza noble y poderosa. Concediste al mundo la eugenesia, la electricidad y poderosas armas de guerra como misiles y aviones aerostáticos y conseguisteis grandes avances en metalurgia, teoría racial y política.
You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Himians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Khoikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You are obsessed with sadness and with frivolous pop culture. You will be superseded. Isn't that right, babe?
It is, baby, yeah. You know it.
Hay un botón justo detrás del fuera del alcance. Debe ser el que abre la entrada al puerto. Venga, hombre, solo necesito que te muevas unos 20 centímetros. Antes de empezar he debido grabar la partida.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the arbor.
Ya. Podemos dejarlo ahí temporalmente y guardar. Sigamos investigando y abramos la caja. Si no hay nada más que hacer, supongo que ya lo hago. En la portada de este libro aparece una rosa, una pistola y una señorita casi en cueros. La portada muestra a un hombre muy musculoso rodeado de fuego. Un libro sobre paté. No tienes ni idea de qué trata este libro, pero tampoco parece importante. Un libro sobre la cultura boideiro, promueve la libertad y la itinerancia. Según este libro deberías conseguir un cuerpo duro como el de un franco-nigeriano. Es un libro futurista. En él el gobierno lee las mentes mediante la radiotecnología.
Hello,
Hola.
sir. Step right in. The store is open.
Soy la ley.
Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
¿Qué clase de tienda es
It's a
esta?
bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl. You're fooling nobody.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now. Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register. or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character. Mum says a proper worker is dutiful. That's how you get ahead in life. You succeed.
There is stress and unease behind these words. She's reciting etiquette.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go... Exactly, but we've been doing fine so far. They shouldn't be, but they seem real. Anyhow, they say that these grounds are doomed for businesses. Of course, sir. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man and the bad man. Or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. It happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should actually be rich himself, but has lost his family property unjustly, like during the revolution or something. Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. People sad about what they have lost, but then it all turns out just fine in the end. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad and bad. Nobody wants to read a story like that. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, that would be interesting. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life. Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the end. I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though.
Oh.
No, I don't know.
You can take this. Blossom like a pain flower. The girl is at a loss for words.
Cada uno lleno de resentimiento y amargura por haber arruinado la vida del otro.
She shifts and sways on her feet, looking confused and uncomfortable.
Dejando un enorme vacío, un corazón vacío, un palpitante.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know how to help you. Sir, sorry, sir. I'm still little. I can't...
He hecho algo estúpido. No me he dado cuenta en qué es donde le he puesto. Sí. ¿Crees que podría tener algo sobre una ruptura terriblemente dolorosa? No creo que se pudiera considerar una historia romántica si los protagonistas. No, piénsalo. Una historia en la que se sumerjan en una tórrida espiral de dolor y recriminación. Solo que muy prolongada, marcándose por vida como un miembro fantasma. La pequeña cambia.
Maybe some about other books? Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that, and the work of a policeman or a private detective who's trying to solve a crime and catch the criminals. It's exciting to people, I guess. They get to imagine dangerous things, and it's kind of like a puzzle, where you can guess who the criminal is, or how the good guys are going to catch him. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen.
Dick Mullen.
Don't say that. He's not even real. You're real.
Así es. No me apetece.
Cheer up, sir. It's much easier being a fictional character. He doesn't have to deal with real things. Maybe you can show me some real deductive police work, sir. Like in the books.
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
What do you mean, sir?
She looks around anxiously. Her hands remain folded in front of her. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two of you with little interest. She brings out her reddened hands.
Las uñas están desgastadas, mordidas, casi hasta la carne.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that. You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I sure hope you are, sir.
There she stands, swaying on her feet, assaulted by the early spring breeze. She smiles at you.
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers, or musicians, those kinds of people. There's usually something extraordinary about them. I think that's why people read them, to find the secrets of their fame.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
They're all dogs.
Okay, sir.
The display rack is brimming with worn paperbacks featuring an extremely muscular, sword-wielding barbarian on the cover. Nearly all the titles contain the word Hyundai somewhere. Rows and rows of Hyundai men blur your vision. You make out some titles. Man from Hyundai and the Mammoth Riders. Man from Hyundai, Return to Hyundai. And the solipsistic Man from Hyundai and the Hyundai Man. Maybe 100. Man from Hyundai and the sages at the end of the world. Man from Hyundai and the false god. Man from Hyundai and the scorched earth. Man from Hyundai, the Hyundai colonies. Man from Hyundai and the swamp beast. Man from Hyundai and the snow crabs. Those snow crabs are worse than they sound. Not even close. Man from Hyundai in hell. Man from Hyundai and the forest of slaves. Man from Hyundai under the lake. Man from Hyundai, Hyundai burning. There's even The Trial of Death, a pastoral combat game book set in the world of Hyundai Man, and so much more. A twinge at the back of your head makes you flinch. Your eye starts twitching. Your hand reaches toward a book with glossy cover art of the very muscular Man from Hyundai in chains, kneeling in front of a staircase leading to a throne. A woman sits on the throne, leering at the man. Between the throne and the Hyundai Man lies a bonfire, casting shadows on the wall. The shadow of the woman's headdress looks like a pair of devil horns. The title reads, Man from Hyundai and the Devil Woman. Especially those leering types who seem to wear nothing but an armored bikini. There's also some sort of a snake lizard beast slithering around her abdomen, chest, shoulder region. The display rack before you is burdened under piles of Man from Hyundai novels.
Oh, Man from Hyundai. A very popular series of adventure novels. They're awfully immoral and violent books. Blood and violence, scantily clad women, epic narratives, all those mystical things he encounters. They're bound to grab those with little imagination and nothing to do. What does it matter? They're all the same. However, the customer is always right, they say. If you're a novice of the series, I'd recommend Hyundai Man, the Man from Hyundai. It's supposed to be a good introduction to the series.
A small mountain of colorful board game boxes. There are numerous types of games for all ages. A lot of shelf space seems to be taken up by Wirral-related merchandise. An endless variety of source books, lore books, and codices litter the table. The topmost book is titled Welkin Compendium, 2nd edition. There's also a large hardbound tome with intricate cover art, The Hunters of Katawak, Boreal Creature Compendium, and a Pick Your Path adventure game book titled Tales of Wirral, Cavern of Velkrag. There's a box that says Wirral, 3rd edition Mega Setting Supplements Module. The side panel notes, a fantastique adventure board game, new maps and miniatures. A sticker on it displays 25 real. Nonsense for anemic Beano clods.
25.
Wonderful board games, sir. The Viticulturist is a classic for sure, or perhaps you'd like Archipelagos of Insulinda, a very educational game for those interested in geography. Braubritter is a fun game of economic competition, but can get quite intense after a while. We have games for the whole family. You can play with your children.
Mírame. ¿Quién querrá tener hijos míos?
Friends are technically like family. For playing with friends, I'd recommend Suzerainty. It's a civilization building game where you build a civilization, then set off to brutally colonize and repress other civilizations. It'll cost 12 real. Lousy auras there. No, role-playing games are popular among those types. You know, who are into those kind of things. Personally, I don't like it. Not at all. I've heard they turn people into occult enthusiasts. That they have rituals where they try to summon entities. Highly immoral stuff. You can still buy them, though.
These shelves are overburdened with books from the same series.
Dick
You
Mullen.
see the name Dick Mullen over and over. A couple of spook novels hide amidst all the detective books. Thrilling tales of spycraft and daring do. Crime fiction is a disgrace. An asinine misrepresentation of the physical attributes of the arduous everyday work of actual police officers. These books greatly overstate the excitement of police work, glossing over how long it takes to actually follow up on leads and eliminate dead ends. Furthermore, they have no idea how hard it is to simply remove a body from a tree. What's more, they completely ignore the psychological hardships of year after year coming into contact with people during the worst days of their lives. Not a single mention of all the stress this work creates upon the officer's family. Detective fiction just doesn't tell the truth at all. Now, would you like a list of all the books found on the shelf? You see Dick Mullen on the job. Get Me Mullen. The Stalwart Adventures of Richard P. Mullen. Dick Mullen and the Murder in the Orchard. The Sordid Affair of Dick Mullen. A killing is declared. Dick Mullen in the murder house. The final case of Dick Mullen. An obvious lie. Dick Mullen in the clock tower. The ordeals of Dick Mullen. Dauntless Dick. Dick Mullen's funeral pyre. The murder of Dick Mullen. Oh no, turns out he faked it to solve a case. Yes, there's also the dame who did it. Farewell, my Mullen. Faking death seems to be a common trope in the Mullen series. The morbid tales of Dick Mullen. A dark tide turns. Tragedy calls for Dick Mullen. Another one with fake death. And, of course, Dick Mullen, the murderer. In order to catch a murderer, Dick Mullen must become the murderer. After all this, you still haven't found the answer to the one question that matters. Who is Dick Mullen? Your quick eye notices a small caterpillar crawling across the spine of a book. The title reads, Dick Mullen and the Mistaken Identity. A worn paperback from Dick Mullen's classic hard-boiled phase. The premise seems to be that Dick Mullen is framed for the murder of his best friend and has just a few days to prove his innocence. Could it be the motifs of unstable identities and shocking betrayals? Perhaps you're drawn to the dark and noirish atmosphere. then this is the book for you.
8.
Oh, crime, robberies, murders, even sexual crimes. We're fortunate to have Dick Mullen and his stories to sort all that out. You're a police officer, apparently. You should buy all of these. They really do teach a person how to be a proper detective.
Sex crimes did pique your interest, but still, this Dick Mullen person only gets your pleasure centers down.
Magia fascista.
The plaque on the shelf reads,
Biographias
biographies
de
of
famosos.
famous
Hay una
people.
gran
You
cantidad
see a
de
large
nombres, pero
variety of
ninguno que
names,
suene de nada.
none of which ring a bell. Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant. It's all suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook. High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting
Quitarse
morphine into
morfina en
one
uno de
of his
sus
eyeballs
globos.
and
¿Qué?
cocaine into the
What?
other. Next to that, Rivasholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
I really must insist
Me
you
temo
buy
que debo
one of the
insistir en que
books.
compre un libro.
Reading them is not for free. Do still browse though, but not too long. I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce. I would say... The Greatest Innocence. Yes, most certainly. It's an important educational tool, delving into the depths of history, religion, and their relation to innocentic power. A very influential historical figure. But surely I don't have to tell you that. You're a law officer, and law officers have at least some education. The book is also very daring. The author aims to re-examine the universal understandings of the innocentic system, creating a fresh vantage point and a shift in the tired order of things. Perhaps for a layman, deep analysis is necessary to peel back the multi-layered meanings. Certainly, it's prudent for a person to have at least an elementary understanding of history and society. Imagine the chaos we'd be in otherwise.
You feel like you should get this one. Definitely. It's important somehow. There's something personal inside.
4.70. No tengo nada.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another, far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme. Ozon, Laurentide, Fas à la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white. In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou. In a bookstore, it's you. Radiating outwards from you, the suzerain Revachol. With a radius of 80 kilometers, still the crown jewel of this Isola would be barely visible. You can, on Caillou, Revachol, a single black star, on Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu, on archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers, on Semenine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas. The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosines and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Muindi is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called. Connections to other worlds, words past the Incelindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there. You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust. The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction. To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East. Hudon, it's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst. It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest. No, Coal City is worse. A charred limb. Rain falls on its slick black streets. And then there's the burnt-out quarter in the heart of Jamrock. Is it cold in this bookstore? Or is it just you? It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48. Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbour, even the whirling in rags there.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them. They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though. That old thing? It's an out-of-date map of a tourist location that never was nor came to be. From when some design studio people tried to spruce the place up 4 or 5 years ago. They also renovated the horse statue, set up those coin-operated viewers, and designed the new street lamps. They didn't get that far, for some reason. A shame the project never got going. Would be nice if someone fixed Martinez up. All these ruins are bad for business.
Ok, vamos a guardar.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range of paranatural literature. Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance. The point of the book and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services. It serves platitudes while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to and which costs more than this book, is garbage and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything, though it is important to note. When it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place. It's your own fault if you're ill. Got it? The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium.
Ooh.
It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraïs tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying.
Sir, please, no browsing in that shelf. That wisdom is not for free. I can't have you end up, like, opening a police store next door and stealing my customers. Oh no!
Sí, revisé acá, ¿no?
Shelves full of biographies of.
Ajá. Yo creo que ya lo revisé, guardar partida una última vez.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez. Slowly, you move your hand toward the map attached to the board. Before you even reach the map, you're interrupted.
Perhaps not. It's against RCM policy to defraud small business owners.
Ah, ya lo compro.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Ya, todavía tenemos que hablar con ella.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Primero hablemos con ella y vamos a ver si es que hay alguna consecuencia muy mala de hacerlo. Guardar partida. Y nos quedamos aquí. O bueno, me quedo aquí. Mapa y diario. Tesis y diario. Hoja de personaje T y diario T C J J y C probemos. Ya es esto. Y esto. Ya. Bueno, ya lo guardamos por si acaso una última vez. Ya está. Y aquí lo voy a dejar. Ya. Nos vemos.